Police give tips to victims of domestic violence. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The police are warning victims of domestic violence not to tell their partners that they are leaving the relationship, as this could compromise their safety and security. The issue of domestic violence is again dominating public discourse after 41-year-old police constable Damian Blair was reportedly killed during a dispute with his wife at his home in Somerset in Manchester on Monday, and it's reported that Constable Blair had expressed a desire to leave their home he shared with his wife because of problems in the marriage. Before leaving the relationship, the police is suggesting that persons must have several things in place, including important documents, money, and a safe location unknown to the other partner. DSP Dillon said victims of domestic violence can seek assistance from the police to leave their homes. The police can also help victims to develop their safety plan, whether they decide to leave or remain in the household with their abusers. Additionally, DSP Dillon has urged men who are victims of domestic violence not to shy away from seeking help. She noted that some men who are victims of domestic violence are too embarrassed to get help because of the societal belief that a man should be in command of his home. However, we all know that several times men are the ones who get abused. A man and a woman were on Monday arrested and charged for their involvement in lottery scamming during a joint operation involving police from St. James and Trelawney, as well as members of the Jamaica's Customs Agency. Their 21-year-old Tajay Douglas, a security guard, and his spouse, 24-year-old Rocky Johnson, a bartender of Water Lane, Zion Hill in Trelawney. Reports are that about 1 p.m. and 6 p.m., Douglas and Johnson visited the Norman Manley International Airport to collect a package from a courier, and anomalies were detected by customs. A search was conducted and more than 20 credit cards were found hidden inside cell phones and calculators which they could not account for. A secondary search was conducted at their Water Lane address, where an on-site analysis was done on 2 cellular phones. The phones were found to be populated with identity and banking information of overseas residents. Meanwhile, 2 Jamaican men have been sentenced to federal prison for their role in a sweepstakes scam that targeted elderly people across the United States. The U.S. Attorney Office for the District of South Carolina on Tuesday said 32-year-old Tyrell Harris and 60-year-old Errol Durant were each sentenced to more than 5 years in prison. Both prison sentences are to be followed by a 3-year term of court-ordered supervision. The defendants are also required to pay $1.75 million in restitution. Harris, Durant, and other co-conspirators would contact elderly victims and falsely tell them that they won sweepstake, but in order to claim the prize they need to pay bogus fees or taxes. Prosecutors said Harris and Durant reportedly received more than $1.7 million from at least 70 victims across 15 states as a result of the scheme. The police are now reporting that 3 illegal guns and more than 30 rounds of ammunition were seized during operations in 3 parishes across Jamaica on Tuesday. The weapons were found in St. Catherine, Clarendon, and Westmoreland. 2 men have been arrested in 2 of those incidents. Meanwhile, dancehall artist Munga Honorable is to stand trial in February 17 of 2025 in relation to the 2017 murder of Cleveland Summit. In 2025, that's going to be 8 years since Summit was murdered. The entertainer, whose real name is Damian Roden, and his co-defendant Sheridan Gordon are charged with murder. The murder trial, which was scheduled for Monday in the Home Circuit Court, was postponed due to personal challenges being experienced by Munga's lawyer Christopher Townsend. Their bail was extended and a trial readiness hearing was set for November 4th of 2024. And it's reported that on the day in question, Summit, who is the nephew of dancehall artist Vegas, was accosted by a group of men, one reported armed with a gun at a dance in Akiwak in St. Andrew. An altercation ensued, resulting in Summit being shot and later pronounced dead at the Kingston Public Hospital. Prior to his death, Summit had injured Munga Honorable in a machete attack. The man charged in connection with the robbery and killing of a Chinese businessman and a customer in Thurs in Manchester in December had originally planned to rob armored trucks in Mandeville, and this was disclosed Tuesday afternoon following the sentencing of one of their cronies in the Home Circuit Court. Clarendon mechanic Ajay Fraser, 22 years old, pleaded guilty to the murder of Jin Zian Yi, otherwise called Leo, and was sentenced to life imprisonment. Fraser to serve 15 years before being eligible for parole. He also pleaded guilty to 3 counts of making use of a firearm and was sentenced to serve 15 years on each count. Fraser was given another 10-year sentence for pleading guilty to robbery with aggravation and a 12-year sentence for pleading guilty to wounding with intent. but the sentence will run concurrently, so he will only do 15 years. And during the robbery, the men opened fire, killing the businessman and a customer, Alfonso Cohen. The men then escaped with an undetermined sum of money. They were subsequently arrested and charged. Fraser co-accused Siobhan Wright, Tevon Williams, Rakeem Mohammed, and Curtis Gardner are to return to court on October 30 for plea and case management hearing. A woman was gunned down in the volatile Tucker community in St. James last night. The deceased has so far been identified as Andrea Hansen, a 34-year-old business operator from the community. Reports are that about 7 p.m., Hansen was in her business place in the community when she was attacked and shot multiple times. She was later pronounced dead. Onto sports. After losing their first two games and being eliminated from the race for the spot in the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, Jamaica's young reggae girls can walk without shame after defeating Panama 4-1 in their final Group A match in the CONCACAF Women's Under-20 Championship. With the victory, the girls finished third in Group A with 3 points, while Panama finished last with 0 points. Anyway, people, the day is here. The NBA finals are here, and tonight the Miami Heat will take on the Nuggets, which happens to be the best shooting team in the NBA. Their top man, Jokic, who seems unstoppable, is sure gonna face a stiff defense when he comes face to face with Bam Adebayo and possible Kevin Love, who are sure to get the job of guarding him. On the Heat culture with Pat Riley and now Eric Spoelstra, the Heat normally are taught that a team does not win games without playing defense, and that is what the Heat will have to play tonight because Jokic, I can tell you, is unstoppable. Will their defense work tonight? It better, because I'm not a man who take losses very well, and it's going to be a really great 7-match series. Anyway, if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.